Well, good morning, good afternoon, friends, family. Awesome to be here after another wonderful weekend. Got a chance to do some barbecue, smoked some ribs over the weekend in the midst of just tons of rain. Tell me how your weekend was. Let me know you're here. Let me know you can hear me and see me. Say hello. I hope you had an awesome weekend. Good morning, Jamie. Great to see you. How was your weekend, my friend? Thanks for letting me know you can see me and hear me. I always have that pause before someone says something, and I'm not sure, so I don't know whether I'm just talking out loud and nobody can hear me or not, but thank you. Meh, okay. Y'all getting a bunch of rain out there? It's monsoon season, isn't it? Listen, I'll start today with, while I'm waiting for some comments about the weekend, my friend Simon Sinek sent me another email. He says, to overcome our challenges, all that's required is the courage to ask for help. How many of us fail to ask for help on a regular basis with something we're faced with? I know some of us who came from the military community are too darn stubborn to ask for help when we most need it. Monsoon is more than monsoon, huh, Jamie? Love it. Love it. So I see this all the time. I see people struggling with something to the point that they just get so frustrated that they give up. And often they give up just when things are about to get great. They come back and they talk about all the reasons they couldn't get through it. And when I ask them what would have made the difference, often it's something seemingly simple that had they just taken time to ask for help, someone would have been able to contribute that thing or those things or whatever it may be. And they failed to ask for help. And that led them to experience the failure that they experienced. And I know I adjusted this camera the other day so that that door was not showing as well, but let's just go there. I've got distracted by people walking by today. But today they're supposed to be putting some film up on my door, and a little bit of privacy film to make it a little bit better. We'll see how it goes. But I digress. So do you do this in your personal or your work life? Do you fail to ask for help when you need it most? Don't be stubborn. Talk to me. Look, there's just too many things in life that require someone else's input. We can't do it all on our own. But if you don't ask, they will never know. So I know we talked about acts of kindness and how that it could impact someone else's life, and you never know what someone else may be facing. But wouldn't it be so much better if they were struggling with something and they simply reached out to ask for help? By the way, that can look a whole lot of different ways. If someone comes to you and shares something, just something that is on their mind or something that they care about, something that's important to them, Oftentimes we're quick to dismiss them because we're busy going about whatever it is we're going about. And we miss those opportunities to truly connect with someone. And I've talked about that before as well. It only takes a moment to change someone's life. So think about that the next time someone brings something to you, or the next time you're struggling with something. Reaching out looks a lot different for everyone. And Jamie says she struggles with asking for help. Yes. She doesn't want to be seen as weak, even though she knows that asking for help is a sign of strength rather than weakness. And yeah, but building those relationships with people is probably one of the most important factors, because when you go to share something with them, that may be you reaching out and asking for help without directly saying, will you help me? Again, it looks a lot of different ways, and it doesn't have to be, will you help me? Although I'll say that, one of the communication problems between men and women is simply that we process things differently, we listen to things differently, and we hear things differently. For me, I do believe that when women speak to men, if you would like us to help with something, oftentimes it's ambiguous. And this is just personal experience. It may not be true for everybody, but I have found to be true more than I have found it to be untrue. And how much easier would it make things if you were just clear? We were just clear about our intentions, our expectations, our wants and our needs. If we just said, I would really like it if you would contribute more around the house, or I would really like it if you would tell me when you'd like me to contribute something more than I'm contributing. Because yes, it goes both ways. I wouldn't argue that. Being clear about your intentions, your expectations, your desires would make life a lot easier. The same goes with simply asking for help. We can't do it all on our own, and if you try to shoulder everything, it becomes overwhelming. So don't wait until you've grown tired and that thing or those things start overwhelming you and creating a negative experience that affects your ability to see things in your future the same way, right? That experience, that negative experience, will cause you to look at everything else you do tomorrow differently if we don't take action today to change it. So ask for help. Now how do you start your week? How do you start your days? And we've talked about this before too. And I think that the way you start your week, the way you start each day can directly impact the future that you're trying to create. So how do you ensure your week is going to be impactful and productive? If you come out of a meh weekend, Jamie, what do you do Monday morning to get inspired, to get motivated, to get ready for showing up as your best self each day? So I've shared my routines with y'all before, and I like to get up a little earlier in the morning than everyone else or anyone else around me, so that I can take time just for me. And in that 10 or 15 minutes is all it has to be. All I try to get is at 10 or 15 minutes of just me. And I'll try to read or try to consume something that is going to add a dose of inspiration or positivity to me. I'll get back to the coffee in a second, Jamie. And then I start getting ready for the gym. So what do I consume? I read something inspirational. Sometimes it's spiritual. It depends on how I feel that morning, what I feel I need in order to get my mind right for the day. And then I'll go get ready for the gym. And then at the gym, So that's 3 times a week right now. I'm going to the gym. I'd love to be able to go 5, but my gym only allows us to book 3 sessions online throughout the week in our current environment. But so the other days I try to do something that's still active, like walking, riding my bike, or even doing yard work. Just depends on, again, the day and how I feel. What I feel would give me the right energy, the level of energy I need to create is a direct influence on what activities I need to do to create it. Um, and so while I'm at the gym, I'll consume a podcast or podcasts. I have several that are business and leadership and mostly positive messages or productivity related focuses that just help me think about the things that I'm getting ready to do throughout the day and throughout the week on my journey, right? In alignment with my goals for the year, all the different things. And so I try to stay on track and focus through those things. And then I'll come back and I'll start getting ready. I'll consume plenty of coffee. Um, I like the word puzzles, Jamie. Jamie says, getting coffee, no inspiration to be found without it. And then her routine for the week and the days are the same. Get up, make coffee, water my garden, drink coffee, do a word puzzle, then start work. Yeah. Hey, and I would just think, look at, is that providing you with the right frame of mind? Is there something else you could include in that routine and start adding a habit, if you will, that would just help you engage to the next step? I feel like the things that I look at for my morning routines, rituals, if you will, just really help me set the stage for each day for my weeks. Will, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining us. Those things help me set the stage. And here's a question: would you walk onto a stage that was just half put together if you were going to give the presentation of a lifetime? Answer that for me. So that's just for you, Jamie. Wine is frowned upon at 6 in the morning. I agree. I agree. But yeah. So would you walk onto a stage that was just half put together if you were preparing to give the presentation of a lifetime to 20,000 people? How would you feel about that? Answer the question. Will says sure. Thrive on 40% solutions. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to tie this back to my message and say, why would you approach being your best self at work or anywhere else any differently than your expectations for the stage you set? Set your stage for the day so that you can show up to be your best self, give your best presentation. How's that, Will? You missed the earlier, I think. Thank you. You missed earlier, I think, Will, and where I asked what everybody did for the weekend, how your weekends were, and I took some time to smoke some ribs. It was a good time. I'm going to try and tuck some of this hair away. I don't like how it flares out now, and my curls are starting to show up. It's not fun. Okay, Jamie, fair enough. Fair enough. But wouldn't you want, if you could do everything to prepare well, why wouldn't you prepare well? And that's what I'm saying. Just why don't we, in general, people, just don't seem to take time to set the stage appropriately for their day, for their weeks, to achieve the goals, to achieve their dreams? Oh, outstanding. I'm so glad that she's back with you, Will. Great to hear that. Will welcomed his daughter back from her summer visit with her mother. Awesome to hear. Well, today's message is short and sweet. I don't have much else for you, but that was my thoughts, is setting the stage for our best days, and what I do to try and do that for myself. And of course, I'm always looking for ways to improve, for ways to be better, for ways to show up more authentic, to ways to be here more present with you. Like Friday, right? I wasn't prepared, but I feel like that was a really productive conversation, and I thank everyone who contributed. I get your point too, Jamie. I get it. And when we're faced with a choice or a situation where we have no choice, we do our best to show up. There are potentially other factors that are outside of our influence, outside of our control, that will affect that. And maybe the stage isn't fully set up, but we'll go on stage anyway, right? But if we have the option, and you have the options for the most part to drive how your rituals in the morning can create the right mind frame for you throughout the day, set the stage for each day to give you the best opportunity to show up and give your best performance. I appreciate that comment, Will. I love that comment, actually. Probably should do more stage prep in general, and I'm going to change this to say in our lives. Yes, I think each of us could take time to do more stage prep. And that is, for the most part, there are probably still some outside influences, Jamie. I know if we have younger children at home, that could potentially shift. But if we do our best to take time each day, that's going to do the things, or that allows us to do the things that are going to help us be our best self and show up for the people that depend on us, the people that count on us, or the people that we want to inspire or influence even, then we can influence much of that process. So, hey, that's what I had to talk about today. I'm ready for this week. The energy this morning was good. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what the rest of this week will bring for me. Hopefully, outside influences don't change my view of this week, but it could happen. I just do my best to prepare for it. I hope that there was something in that for you, and I hope that I'm continuing to bring something that's worth chatting about here. I enjoy spending this time with you. I enjoy your participation, and as always, I'm grateful for each and every one of you. So with that, feel free to send me a note in our text community. If you are not part of our text community yet, there's your information. Just text the word friend so I know where you came from, because I've invited people from my podcast, I've invited people from this live stream, and I have another group that I've invited people to. So this just helps me know where you came from and what messages I'm sharing with you in particular, because like you here, you probably have not much interest in what I'm saying on my podcast, and I don't want to send those podcast messages to you because I do send group messages. A lot of it is individual one-on-one activity, but I'll send an occasional group message, and I don't want to overwhelm you with the wrong content. I want you to get exactly what you came for. And if it happens by mistake, it happens by mistake. But if you text the word friend, I'll know where you came from. Make it easy. Jamie says she wasn't trying to be contradictory. She promises. I appreciate you, Jamie. I know you were not. I love a good challenge, though, right? Our world would not be the same if we didn't have competition, if we didn't have challenges. And again, Each day I show up here, you that show up with me inspire me to be better. And maybe that's looking and thinking about things from a different perspective, but I appreciate you. So Will says this week is going to be awesome. I love it, man. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the time you get to spend with your daughter and hearing all of the wonderful things. There might be some not wonderful things that you hear. You get the choice on how to navigate that. Will, just remember that connection is the most important thing you have. But well, the most important thing you have between you and your daughter, right? Don't. Yeah, I hope you know what I'm saying. Anyway, all right, I guess I'm done. Hey, y'all have a wonderful day. Go get this week, right? Take it on. This is your week. This is your year. This is your time. Set the stage for what you want for your future. I love you all. Have a great